Throwdown. Throwdown. Throwdown.
You suck. What is up? What is up, everybody, man? It is the Live at 5 Throwdown, and it's 5, so we live. It's the JTM and my man, the Monster. What's going on, brother?
Nothing, baby. Preseason started. We got content to bring you. Let's get up. Let's get at it. Let's get in it.
All right, all right. So we got a pretty good show lined up. Like I said, football's back, and we here, and we ready. We got a lot to talk about. As Monster would say, a whole lot to talk about. So,
we gonna chat about it. We gonna chat about it.
So Monster, man, how was your weekend?
I was good. You know what I mean? I had some things I had to tie up for a little while. But, you know, in the end, it worked out. I'm glad to see you made it today, JT. I was kind of worried about you, my friend. How was your weekend?
Man, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I have no complaints, man. You know, as you know, I came home. It was good to be in Buffalo. It was good to meet a lot of people. I did a lot of things at the Fred Jackson camp, the autograph signing, all that type of stuff like that. And I mean, man, the amount of love that we got at the game, it was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yes, man. It was truly humbling. Mafia came out, showed Live at 5 Throwdown some love, showed JTM and Monster some love, and we're just going to continue to give it right back to you all season because we love doing this. We're here doing this for you guys. We could be doing other things, but we love you.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, we ready to go then, man. So let's talk about the Bills preseason opener. So we got at Carolina. What you think, man?
First, I want to touch on the pregame meeting between Cam Newton and Kelvin Benjamin. I thought that was kind of interesting. As you can see between the from the clips that were played, there's still animosity there. Those guys aren't going to be on each other's Christmas cards lists anytime soon. So I just thought that was really interesting to start with. But getting into it from there after all that, I liked what I saw. JT.
You know what? On that subject there, I'm not really a fan. I'm not a fan of it. Like if Calvin came out and he said, what he said, I get it. You're mad, you're trying to get paid. I understand the business side of what he's trying to do. He's trying to make excuses for him not being a 1,500-yard receiver to this point in his career, and he's trying to get paid like a 1,500-yard receiver. But when this man comes out who's been your teammate, Cam has said some pretty nice things about Benjamin, especially when he was first traded. And he's trying to shake your hand, and you just look at his hand. To me, that showed a sign of weakness. That shows me a person who obviously know they're wrong for what they said.
Yeah, but who would know better if Cam Newton wasn't a capable quarterback than the guy who, well, when he was healthy, was catching the balls thrown from him? You know what I mean? Was it classless to not shake his hand? Maybe. But you also don't know the personal history behind the relationship. It could have went way deeper than KB saying what he said and then Cam trying to come up and talk to him, pre-game. It could have been a lot deeper. They could have had animosity since they both got there. So we don't know the history between it or what have you, but I just think it was funny to just see, the animosity come out on the field. Like, you can tell those guys aren't friends anymore. So who knows? It should get interesting during the season. I don't think these guys are done with each other.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna move on the subject because, like I said, if I keep going on, there's gonna be a whole lot of Bills fans that's gonna be coming at us for a different reason next year. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But man,
All right.
so the preseason game, we opened up. The first and second team offense and first second team defense looked pretty good in my opinion. I think when the first second team left, we were up 17-7 at that point. They looked pretty solid, looked very disciplined. But our man Josh Allen, because that's what everybody want to talk about. We want to talk about Josh Allen.
Man, let's start at the top. Let's start with the gravy. The gun he shot in the middle of the chest of Ray in the corner of that end zone. I'll tell you what, there's maybe 4 quarterbacks in the league right now that can make that throw. He took one step and just rocketed it, just right in the breadbasket. If the kid wouldn't have caught it, it would have been embedded in his stomach. It was insane. Like it's glimpses of that. Yeah, it's a new game. It's faster. It's the pros. We get it. He's got to adjust his timing, get the speed down, because they say in training camp all the time, there's nothing like you can't simulate an NFL game. It just doesn't happen the way the speed is, the way everything happens. So the short glimpses we saw from him were it was great. I loved it.
Man, I tell you what, like I said, what I wanted to see from Josh is I wasn't expecting him to light it up or anything like that. But the main thing I wanted to look at is I wanted to view footwork and mechanics. And I thought I was just going to see footwork and mechanics that were absolutely a mess. And to my surprise, they weren't. Yeah, he made a couple back throws off his back foot. But I guess when you have a strong arm like that, you can do that. But no, the mechanics and the footwork were actually pretty good. I don't know if you know, but they rotated him in with the ones today.
It's amazing that Peterman gets banged up, McCarron gets banged up. Oops, God parts the seas. There's Josh Allen with the number ones where he should be. And from what I hear, little birdie told me he sent a rocket up the sidelines to Corey Coleman, who climbed the ladder and snagged it in, and the crowd went nuts. I wasn't there. I'm just saying I heard a rumor.
Right. I mean, this kid's arm is like, his arm talent is phenomenal. It literally is phenomenal. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. That throw that he made between the linebacker and the safety, or the corner and the safety, whoever it was, for Ray McLeod for a touchdown. That's not necessarily a throw you want to see him make over and over.
That's that window. He threw it in that window. That was the window.
That's the window that we did not see with Tyrod. There was no windows with Tyrod. Now, I'm not a Tyrod hater, but that was a window that we did not normally see.
Tyrod wouldn't even been looking at the same house. Hit the window, Tyrod. Enjoy, Cleveland.
Well, Cleveland's rolling into town this week, ain't they? Or we're rolling there or something where we got Cleveland this week. But Nathan Peterman, could this be? I mean, are we? Is this an overreaction? Was this just a mirage? I mean, it's preseason first game.
You got to do it where it counts, and the only resume he has where it counts is 5 picks. You know what I mean? That's all you got. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at your preseason. I'm not looking at you running against the twos or even the ones in preseason, because let's face it, half the team's ones aren't fully stacked starting lineups anyway. So I said it before. I said it on previous podcasts. I'm not drinking the Peterman Kool-Aid at all. I don't think he's built to be an NFL quarterback. I think when it comes down to it, if he gets the opportunity, as much as I do want to see him succeed, I don't think he's going to. I just don't think it's in his DNA or his pedigree. I think he's going to fail at it. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, and we'll see when the actual game starts. But with him getting banged up in McCarron, this is the opportunity that Josh Allen needs to just take the reins, and we won't have to worry about McCarron or Peterman because they'll be fighting for second string.
Well, I mean, the best scenario is that he keeps playing as well, because, I mean, let's be real about it. We all know Josh Allen in the future. Whenever that happens, whether it's week 1, week 6, next year, whatever, we know he's the future. Worst case scenario, or best case scenario to say, is Peterman plays good, McCarron plays good. You trade one now and you trade one later. Simple as that.
Yeah, but we're not going to go 3 for 3 on quarterbacks.
I highly doubt that.
Not all 3 of them are going to be good. I think if Peterman comes out and he's okay and we can showcase him, maybe he's trade bait. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to. But then again, McCarron could be better trade bait because of his salary.
Right.
So I think if Allen winds up starting, it's a blessing for all of us. I want to see it happen. But I think it puts the Bills brass in kind of a pinch at what to do with a $10 million backup quarterback. So I don't see him sticking around with that.
Right, definitely. I agree there. But that wasn't the only rookie quarterback that went this week. Josh Allen looked good. Sam Darnold arguably looked pretty decent. And Baker Mayfield looked good. So,
Baker lit him up. Good for you, Baker. Baker lit them up. He was my first choice. I stated it in my podcast. I knew we weren't going to get him, so Josh Allen was my next. Darnold and Rosen, I never even thought about. I prayed and prayed. Please don't pick either one of these kids. And I'm glad we didn't. And I'm glad he went to the Jets. And I'm glad I'm going to see Darnold fall on his face until they kick him out of the league. Because he's going to bust, and I stated that prior, and I'm going to stand behind it.
You know what? I follow you on that statement about the bust. And not because of talent level. I think the guy has talent, but he just doesn't strike me as a guy who's going to be mentally tough. I don't know. I could be wrong. But the main thing I want to talk about with these quarterbacks and differences is the mental toughness aspect, right? We have Baker in the situation in Cleveland where they didn't even win a game last year, so there can't be too much pressure there. I mean, you win one game and you improve the 100%. You have Allen here in Buffalo where he doesn't necessarily have to play immediately, but they, doesn't have to. They're coming off a playoff team. And then you have Josh Darnold, or Sam Darnold, where he's in a situation in a big market in New York, and you know how those fans are. They're pretty rabid. And the media is even worse. The media is savages out there.
I don't think again he's one of those soft guys. He went to a soft college, like he grew up in the sunshine and he was pampered and blah blah blah. And then you go to New York and you got people throwing beer bottles at you and calling your family names on the subway. Like, it's a whole different environment.
Right.
I don't see the toughness, and aside from that, I don't see the skill. I don't see the skill built for an NFL game. I'm sorry, I don't. And it's not because I'm a Bills fan, because I am. But if we drafted him, I'd still be screaming about it. I'd be screaming about it until he was gone. So I'm happy. I don't think he has the toughness to last in New York. Sorry, Jets fans, but I don't care about your feelings. I don't think he's going to last. I think they're going to wind up back in the same carousel another 3 years from now. I mean, they thought Chad Pennington was going to do it. You remember Chad Pennington, Jets fans? We remember Chad Pennington, noodle arm Chad Pennington. You thought he was going to be it. You thought Geno was going to be it. You know what I mean? You thought Mark Sanchez did a butt fumble. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be another one of those quarterbacks in the long line of Jets failures at the QB position. So good luck, Jets.
Hey, like I said, we could be wrong. Could be wrong. But we'll see. Time will tell. Not that I thought Darnold wasn't a good talent. I just don't like that market in New York for young quarterbacks. I just don't. It's just my thing. I don't like that market for young quarterbacks. But we'll move on. Baker Mayfield, is he pushing Tyrod for that starting position already?
You damn right he is. You damn right he is. He put Tyrod on notice in that game. Listen, I'm coming. I'm slinging. I'm making the right choices. Baker looked fantastic in that game. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, please, for God's sakes, cut the camera to what Tyrod looks like right now. Just show his face. Just cut the Tyrod and see what his expression is watching Baker march his team up and down the field. I think Tyrod's been put on notice that Baker Mayfield's not here to sit on the bench this season. And I'm glad for it, because I think Baker Mayfield has all the talent to sit Tyrod down for the whole season and make him a backup. I think it would benefit the Cleveland Browns. I think it would benefit the fan base of Cleveland. And honestly, I'd watch it more. I've seen the Tyrod show. It sucks.
Tyrod was 5 for 5 for 96 yards and a touchdown. You're not... Okay, so I could take it that you're not convinced at all.
The preseason. Anybody could throw the passes Tyrod threw. I could throw them.
All right.
You know what I mean? Let me get the rotator cuff loose, JT. Let the monster rocket go. Bury a couple right between the numbers.
All right.
I guess those.
We're going to move on. We're going to go down to the Bills linebacker court. There's been a couple of things that happened at preseason game and following. Tremaine Edmonds. He struggled a little bit that game. I mean, we were there. We watched it. He picked the holes the wrong way. You think it's just first game jitters? picking up.
Yeah, it's first game jitters. I mean, you got to understand the tremendous amount of pressure that this kid's stepping in. Basically asked to run the defense. You know what I mean? He's got a Pro Bowl squad secondary behind him. He's got Kyle Williams, the legend, in front of him. You know what I mean? It's a lot to take in. I think it's one of those things where it's just going to be repetition. It's going to happen. He's a smart kid. You know what I mean? Everybody praises the intelligence that has ever played with him or that's close to him or his camp. They all say he's very knowledgeable. He has more than enough tools to handle the responsibility that Buffalo's going to place on him. So I think it's just a matter of first game jitters. He's 19 years old. Can you imagine the responsibility of running an NFL defense at 19 years old? Like, oh my God! I didn't even have a legit driver's license.
I couldn't even run an apartment at 19 years old.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's running our defense. So I think it's absolutely jitters. I think the talent's there. I think with the help in the core, you got Lorenzo, you got Kyle. They're going to coach him through his tough times. They're going to be there, you know what I mean, when he needs to lean on them. And I think it'll be fine. I just mark it up the first game jitters.
One guy that looked mightily bad in that game was Matt Milano. He looked mightily bad, very bad, even to the point today his first team reps were cut in half for Ramon Humber. Now, mind you, I'm no Humber fan. I know he had, the hot start the last season, then he got injured, and he came back. He was never the same again.
No.
Are you buying into this Milano first team rep because, or just a wake up call from McDermott? Because obviously we know he's a wake up call type of coach.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's a shot in the pants for the kid. Like, maybe you're dragging, maybe you're slacking a little bit. I think it's nothing more than a motivation call. Matt Milano is a ball hawk. He's one of those guys, we've seen it. The All-22s tell it. He just knows where to be. And you can't coach that. It's just instincts. Ed Reed had it. You know what I mean? You know where to go. You know where the ball is going. It's just a second, you know what I mean? It's a second sense that you have. So it's probably a wake-up call. I don't see, if he had better quality behind him, like if Ramon Humber was a little bit better, I could see maybe he's fighting for the spot. But it's going to boil down to either Milano or Humber, and Milano's going to win the spot. So I think maybe this was a wake-up call. Who knows? Maybe he tweaked his knee and nobody wanted to say anything. They just wanted to keep him out. But again, I think it's another situation where we don't really have to worry about it.
Right. No, I agree. But my thing is, I think that we're putting Milano in that second linebacker spot. Like, right? You got Edmonds at that first linebacker spot. That's your stopper. That's your guy, your leader. And then you're putting Milano. I think we're putting Milano in that second spot too quick. Because like I said, after the season, if they keep some of these draft picks, they have to go get a second line. I don't feel like he's their second back. I feel like he's your third guy. He's your solid third linebacker. I don't feel like he's not your Tommy Davis to your Kuechly, in my opinion.
We're just waiting for Khalil Mack to come home. That's all. That's all we're waiting for. We're just waiting for 52 to come back in the blue. I've seen all these articles about, the Packers are the front runners. And please, if he has one chance to come back home to Buffalo, the Packers don't have a chance. The Patriots don't have a chance. He already loves Buffalo, and he yelled at Sammy Watkins for basically stealing his city in that draft. So if you think 52 is not going to come home in the blue and white, you're out of your mind. If he's not wearing black and silver, he's wearing blue and white. That's who we're waiting for.
And
so I think whoever we put in that spot right now is a substitute teacher for the time being.
And speaking of that, I mean that's really gaining a lot of steam and traction. Actually, you see the Vegas is actually putting us at the top of the odds as well. Let me ask you a question. If this is feasible, right? If this is feasible, what are you trading for him? Your ideal trade.
If you address the Raiders' need, obviously they're going to want to take one. If they're losing Mac, they're obviously going to take one. So if the price is Edmonds, if the price is Edmonds, okay, I wouldn't give up anything more than a third and maybe another fifth or sixth for that. If you're going to give up Tremaine Edwards in that trade, because let's be honest, the Raiders don't really need much. If you're giving up a talent at that position, you're going to want to replace it with somebody because you're not going to put a backup in behind Khalil Mack and try to play your season. It's not how it's going to go. But I think if it boiled down to it, I think Edmonds would be in there. I don't know if Bean would be willing to pay that price, but I think Edmonds would definitely be in there. Maybe Tre'Davious White. But again, I wouldn't trade Trey Day for Mac. I love Mac. I want him to come home, but in the realm of things, I would rather have that corner instead of the linebacker. It's more of a skilled position in my opinion. But I think I don't know. There's so many different variables. You know what I mean, JT? It's just I think Mac would definitely come back. Mac wouldn't go anywhere else. Mac would come back home to Buffalo and he would terrorize the league. But Tremaine Edmonds, maybe I'd work that in. But any other prospect, I simply wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give up Trey White for him. Maybe they ask for Shady.
I mean, the thing is this. I thought about the Shady thing. Then I saw, okay, they had Marshawn Lynch and they had Doug Martin. So I nexted that out. Bean and McDermott, they won't trade they won't trade Edmonds. They won't trade Trey White. That Edmonds is actually, because then the McDermott ran defense, the middle linebacker is actually more important than the defensive end. So you could scratch that. What I thought is this: first round pick this year, Shaq Lawson, second round pick for 2019 or 2020, whatever, the next year, second round pick. If you're Oakland, with him holding out, you don't have the leverage to ask for a huge package. You just don't have it. You don't have the leverage. Buffalo can give you a first-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, and Shaq Lawson to replace him. If Shaq is good, then okay, you're good. You can pick up his fifth-year option. If he's not good, then you get rid of him. Oh, well, fine. You move on. But you still got a first- and second-round pick. I think that's the most leverage you have.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are going to take it. They're going to take the loss on this one, however it works out. You know what I mean? But it's funny because I read somewhere, I think that Max holdout the first day will cost him more than I think like 13 other players will make this season. Like it was ridiculous for one game. He's gonna lose like $800,000 for one game. And the thing that strikes me as interesting about this is that John Gruden has not reached out to speak to Khalil Mack once since he's been appointed as the head coach. Not once has John Gruden reached out to his all-pro, all-world running or linebacker to say what's going on or try to coach him in. I find that is very interesting. Now, does that mean that Gruden doesn't want Mack? Like, who wouldn't want Khalil Mack? Like, what kind of football decision is that? Like, who makes that call? Or is John Gruden's ego enough to just not want to pick up the phone and engage with the guy? Give me your thoughts.
This has to be ego. This is the same guy who came in and cut the best punter in the league, Marquette King, for a statement. All right? So then you don't pick up the phone and you don't call Khalil Mack arguably the best defensive end in the league. Now, I could see if this is a guy who had a character issue or B, locker room issues, personality. This is a guy who shows up every game, shows up every play. He leads by example on and off the field. There's no reason not to pay this guy. There's no reason to get him to camp. If the Falcons could redo Julio Jones' deal 2 years after making him the highest paid receiver and rework it, then there's no reason you don't call this guy. This guy is a leader. I put him in the same element and impact of a game as a Mike Singletary. And I mean, not that they play the same position, but in that impact and leadership role. He leads by
example. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
He's a playmaker.
It makes no sense. But you know what? Bring him to Buffalo. We'll have $100 million. We'll give you $20 million over your 3 years. And we'll go and we'll move on. That's it.
We got lots of cash. Khalil wants lots of cash. We got lots of cash. We already know he likes the wings. Perfect fit.
Right. But Gruden's going to end up eating this because I got a feeling what he's going to do is he's going to allocate a lot of that money from the defensive side of the ball and try to allocate that to the offensive side of the ball. And he's going to make a huge mistake. They're going to go to Vegas. And they're going to be a shit show. And I'm sorry to say that in my language, but that's what they're going to be. So
I don't see how you could bring him back after 20 years and think he's going to be viable. The game's changed since he coached last. It doesn't matter if he sat in a booth. He was on ESPN with his chucky hair and all that. It doesn't matter. It matters how you call the game. The game is not the same as it was when he last coached. The fact that the Raiders even brought him back, that was a bombshell to me. So I got the notification on my phone, JT. They're like, the Raiders hired John Gruden. I was like, they spelled some guy's name wrong and put John Gruden. And then I found out it was actually John Gruden. And I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
Right.
Where's the viability in the last 20 years to even make the assumption that John Gruden can come? It's not 20 years ago. It's not Tampa Bay. why is he back in the league, and what do they hope to accomplish with him? So Oakland fans, I don't know. I mean, granted, you're losing your team anyway. Sorry. But Vegas fans, you got what you got with the Vegas Knights and the Stanley Cup, but don't expect the Raiders to be anywhere near there. I don't understand this coaching decision. I think it's going to blow up in their face.
You know what? They're giving Gruden too much power too quick. This team was just, 12-4 the year before. Now, I knew they took a step back, which I expect them to take a step back because the year before I thought they won too many close games to repeat that 12-4. I don't know what you're doing, but let him go. Let him come to Buffalo. We'll take him. We'll know exactly what to do with him. Don't you worry about it.
I get a bootleg Mac jersey in 20 minutes. Say something.
Matter of fact, we had somebody get really upset today in our division.
Yes, we did.
Mister?
If you guys didn't hear about the story, the princess of the AFC East, number 12, Tom Brady, he lost his cool today at training camp. Now let me explain. Apparently, there were a lot of drop balls during the drills, and Tom got a little upset, as well as throwing an interception. So, after one said pass, the receiver bricked it right in his hands. Tom asked for the ball back after the play, then proceeded to take that ball and punt it into the stands in anger and storm off the field. What's the matter, princess? Are your players not good enough? Are you getting angry? Is it time to go down and let Buffalo come up and stop you? I think it is. I think Princess got a little mad today, and it filled me with glee, JT. I loved every minute of it.
Hey, matter of fact, you know what? Let's get Gronk's thoughts on it. Let's see what Gronk thinks about this.
Welcome to Tide Pod Talks with Gronk. Hi, I'm Gronk, and I'm big and I'm fucking stupid. Like my muscles. And when I'm hungry, I enjoy eating these motherfuckers.
Right, Gronk.
They are delicious. Now, I'm just going to stand here like a Neanderthal asshole because I can't read or write real good, and I'm just going to shake my fist. Sometimes at practice, Tom Brady shits his pants, and I wash him because I'm a good teammate. This is way too much soap. Sometimes me and Tom touch dicks. Hey, Gronk, I got a shirt. Gronk likes this one!
Well, that was Gronk's thought on it. He's washing Tom Brady's pants.
Well, you know, it's Gronk. It's Gronk. Gronk makes great commercials. Monster's a huge fan of Gronk. Monster was a huge fan of Gronk the second that his forearm landed in the back of Trey White's head. That's when Monster became a real big fan of Gronk. So I love all the Gronk stuff. I think he's doing a great job in his career, and I'm glad he's enjoying Tide Pods as a snack.
All right, man. Let's move on before they kick us off there. We can't come back again. Yeah, I love it, man. So Jalen Ramsey was suspended today by the team.
Yes, he was.
I like the move. Do you care to explain what happened with him?
All right. His teammate Dante Fowler got into an altercation. Okay, got into a little fight. It was being recorded. At the end of the recording, Jalen Ramsey told the reporter, "Shut your damn camera off." So the reporter then was trashed on on Twitter by Jalen Ramsey himself, calling her out. I can't say what he said in the tweets, some of them, but it basically came down to bum-ass reporters. So he calls the reporter out and then proceeded to have another tweet go out that was even worse than the first one. So they have suspended him 1 week for the conduct detrimental to the rules and conduct of the team, and they have suspended Dante Fowler a week for the fight. So I agree with it. It's not your job to abuse the media, especially for the best cornerback in the league, self-proclaimed. So I think it's funny. I hope they get blown out week 1.
You know what? I like the move, and this is obviously we know we know who's behind this move. This is a Tom Coughlin move. Jalen Ramsey is a great talent, probably maybe the best DB in the league. But there's been some moments where he's been really teetering the line beside with being detrimental and egotistical. Coughlin was there for Odell Beckham and Josh Norman. This is a move early to reel him in. Bring it back home. Bring it back in. Let's not get behind up because if you're going to be a championship team, you need all your top players ready to go.
Oh, he's the one piece they can't replace out of the whole team. I mean, the guy's a fantastic talent. I mean, no disrespect saying that, he's self-proclaimed. He may be top 3, but there's some guys you can argue with, you know what I'm saying, that'll give him a run for his money. But, I mean, stupid stuff like that. He would have got away with telling the reporter, just shut the camera off. But he had to take it a step further and go on Twitter and call the actual reporter out. And that's classless to me. That's not somebody who should walk around as the self-proclaimed best TV. That's not how you carry yourself. Walk around with a little bit of class, stick your chin out and be a professional. You know what I mean? You're trying to build a brand. You're trying to do something, positive. Don't go on Twitter and banter with reporters. You want to banter with somebody? My Twitter's always open, Jalen. You come banter with me. I'll banter with the best of them. But stay off Twitter because, you've been told better. They're coached to stay off social media and what to say and what not to say. So it's just an ass move.
I mean, and men, we learned from the Cam Newton saga. You can't attack women. First of all, you can't attack women reporters. And second of all, you cannot verbally attack women reporters. And definitely not on social media. You're going to lose automatically. Zero tolerance. Zero tolerance.
Yep. And I agree with it. Nobody should feel that in the workplace. Nobody should feel uncomfortable in the workplace.
No. So, I mean, it was a move by Coughlin, and I think to, reel him in. But
yeah, Jalen's got to realize Tom Coughlin's got an iron fist. He's not going to play that.
And Tom Coughlin is trying to get one more ring.
I think that you're absolutely right. I think this is a message from Tom Coughlin saying, dude, refocus because I'm not going to tolerate this at all.
Right. So, there was a fight today at Bills camp between Jordan Mills and Kyle Williams, and obviously Jerry Hughes got involved because Jerry Hughes, anytime there's a fight, Jerry Hughes is always involved. But it struck me as kind of weird that Kyle Williams and Jordan Mills got into it because those are two guys that you don't really see get into it too much. Well, actually, no, Mills had to get into a scuffle with Lawson in mini camps. But Kyle Williams really surprised me.
I think it's one of those things where, the kid's trying to establish his spot. Maybe he's doing some things that Kyle Williams doesn't agree with technique-wise. Maybe he's grabbing and holding a little bit. Maybe he just got Kyle Williams to the point of frustration. Or maybe Kyle Williams is running over this kid, and it was the kid's wake-up call, like, dude, what are you doing? Maybe this is Kyle Williams' way of smacking the kid in the head and telling him to play better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, you got Zay Jones going at it with E.J. Gaines today, too. Like, it's what are you doing? Like, Zay Jones trying to, you know what I mean? Like, that surprised the heck out of me, too. I mean, E.J. Gaines was classiful in his answer. He's like, it happens. We're competing. It's hot. Tensions get up, so on and so forth. So it was just one of those skirmishes. That's over and done with. I don't think there's going to be any bad blood behind it. But, yeah, I think it's either one of the two. I think Kyle Williams is either smacking this kid around to tell him to wake up and play good, or it's one of those things where Mills is trying to just take it to the next level and compete for that spot. And maybe he's just, he's working Kyle a little the way that he doesn't like it. So it could be either or, but, you don't rattle the dog's cage. He's a little cagey veteran. You know what I mean? You shake the dog's cage. He's going to fight you. Don't piss with him.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw Kyle Williams, anything about Kyle Williams throwing punches, first and foremost. I don't even remember that. If I ever remember him throwing punches. I remember, I think it was Bruce Smith that got in Kyle? Somebody got in Kyle his rookie year. He told a story about it. I forgot exactly who it was, but someone jumped on Kyle's rookie season. I forgot who it was, man. But definitely, man. I mean, it's very surprising, man. It's very surprising. But
they don't throw punches in those fights. They just kind of smack mitts in the face on the side of the helmet. There's no real haymakers. It's just kind of, I'm gonna push your helmet in your face.
Hitting, punching helmets.
That's pretty much what it is. You know what I mean? They're not putting up the dukes and squaring up. You know what I mean? Right. There's no Muay Thai going on.
All right, and anybody watching this, know this helmet? This Buffalo Vets alumni, back a class of 1990, early something. Don't remember exactly what year, but shout out to the Buffalo Vets. They still going, keep winning champions. Man, James Mallory over there, keep going. Shout out to you, brother. But yeah, man. So I spent the weekend in Buffalo. I spent the weekend in Buffalo. We had some pretty cool things. I stopped at the Fred Jackson camp, Fred Jackson autograph signing. It was pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope to get out there and work with Fred, Brian Scott, Aaron Williams, Jeremy Kelly, who's in the Bills front office now, Joe Kroom of photography, Ed Newton was out there. Samantha Tiger Management. It was a pretty dope event, man. Working with the kids, it was a lot of fun. It was for charitable cause, and just seeing the rave of kids. I think it was 87 kids that showed up. Nico Davis out there too, former Chiefs linebacker. It was a hell of an event. It was a hell of a time. I enjoyed myself, especially working with the kids and doing anything with the youth, and just being able to come back to the city that I was raised in, and that shaped me and molded me as the person that I am. It was huge. I enjoyed it so much, and just shout out to Fred and family for that awesome event.
Absolutely, and that's, you know what I mean, and that shows the class of Fred Jackson still having it, because there's a lot of family and kids who depend on those events. You know what I mean, to get them through tough times or what have you, and just the fact that he still comes back after his days and still does it and works with the kids and gives back to the community and so on and so forth. It's, you know what I mean, it's Fred Jackson. Who doesn't love Fred Jackson? Pretty soon he's going to be up on the Wall of Fame because it's Fred Jackson. And then Dante, he can take his number off, Dante. I don't like the fact that he wears 22. That kind of irked me a little bit. Like, that number should just put it on the wall already. You shouldn't be wearing it, because when I think of 22, I see Fred Jackson.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? So I see Fred Jackson with that, but it looked like a great time at the camp. You know what I mean, with the kids and everything. JT out there helping out with the kids, doing what he's got to do, giving back to the community, and that's what's up. So we did have a lot of fun this weekend here, JT.
Awesome.
We had a lot of fun here at Casa the Monster. And the game was just fantastic, man. Lots of love. Everybody's seen the footage. I don't need to talk about it. You know what I mean? So we can't wait to the home opener. We got a lot more in store for you. Monster's got a couple more surprises for you coming up in the future. So don't you worry about that, folks. Monster's going to take care of you with content. And JTM are going to bring it too.
All right. That's it. Hey, okay, so it's just about time to get out of here. You know, our time is almost up for another week. So we normally end. Let's end with the buy, sell, or trade, man. All right?
Let's do it.
All right. Are you buy, sell, or trading that Nathan Peterman is your starting quarterback week 1?
I'm going to sell that like a 72 deuce and a quarter with a gas leak, JT. I'm not buying that. It's not going anywhere. So, you know what I mean? Peter, it's a good story. He's got good trick shot videos on YouTube, but it's not going to happen in the NFL for me.
Okay. All right. I am going to sell this as well. I feel like they're looking for a reason to start Josh Allen, and he just might get it. He was working with the ones today somewhat, and he may just get it. So I don't know. I don't see Peterman being week 1 starter, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Josh Allen's gonna start. You know why? Because I think that's what Jesus wants.
I didn't know Jesus was a Bills fan. But
you didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I thought he was a Pats fan. But
it says in the Bible that Jesus will not give you more pain than one can endure. We had 20 years of it.
Oh my God. Okay, well, hey, I can't argue there. Good analogy.
I think it's flawless.
Did you see the Jarvis Landry rant on Facebook or YouTube, whatever he did, when he got up and he cursed the whole team out?
I did not.
Okay, so he got up, he cursed the whole team out told me that the laziness wasn't gonna happen around here. Are you buy, selling, or trading that he's the actual leader?
My buy, selling, or trade that Jarvis Landry is the actual leader?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it, and you know why? Because I don't see anybody else down there in that dumpster fire of Miami standing up and screaming for better performance out of the lackluster athletes that you have. So yeah, I'm absolutely gonna buy it. I don't see Tannehill up there with his paper knee yelling at anybody. Quarterbacks is supposed to be the leader. Where have you been at? So you're worried about your knee falling off because it's just Dunions. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it based on the fact that I don't see anybody else in Miami stepping up and saying anything.
So you think that since he was traded to Cleveland, you think that he was traded from Miami because he was too vocal for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm gonna buy it. I'm a big Jarvis Landry guy, man. He's a do-it-all guy. I like do-it-all guys. I know a lot of Buffalo fans don't like him because they hit on Aaron Williams, but like I said, I'm gonna buy it. I love Jarvis Landry. He don't like to lose. He has the same passion as Odell Beckham to me, just that he just doesn't do all the dances and crap.
Yeah,
but
he just got stuck in a garbage franchise.
Yeah. So
he's gonna do good in Cleveland. He's gonna light it up this year.
Buy, sell, and trade. Are you gonna buy, sell, and trade that Jalen Ramsey is gonna shut up and play ball?
I'm gonna sell this. I think his ego is just gonna keep his mouth running. It's going to go from one reporter. And what happens when he matches up against one of the receivers that likes to chirp back? We already see what happened with Odell. You know what I mean? He's just not going to shut up. It's just going to be, is he going to be disciplined enough not to get himself fined or suspended? Keep your garbage trash talk and your shit talk on the field where it belongs. Don't put it on social media where kids can read it and people can see it and make their own opinions. And that's not where it's for. As a professional athlete, you have responsibilities not to invoke stuff like that goes on. You have responsibilities to the organization. You have responsibilities to your family, as well as the people that you're upsetting, putting it on social media. So do yourself a favor, be an adult, and shut up on social media and just play football and make the millions of dollars that all of us here at home wish we could make for playing a game.
I'm going to trade this. I don't think he's going to keep his mouth running like he did for the most time that he did last year in the last couple of years, where he was just continuously running. I'm going to trade this that he's going to use his mouth at certain times. Now, whether those times are good or bad, I couldn't tell you. But I'm going to trade it because I don't think you're going to shut him up, and I don't think you necessarily want to completely shut him up. Because if you completely shut him up, you may just take a little bit of that ego off, which as a cornerback, I played cornerback. You need ego. You need a chip. You need swag.
Yeah.
You got to have it. You got to have it.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. They need to keep the little swag and the little edge, but just shut them up a little bit. Right. Stay off Twitter. Don't be Donald Trump on Twitter. Don't make yourself look like an ass. Just don't tweet. Right. I think it'll be okay.
There's not many Daryl Greens running around here anymore.
No, sir. Some days are done.
And Daryl would have got Moss in his day and age, just saying, but different story for a different day. But I mean, that's our time. You got anything you want to add before we take off?
No. Make sure you look for us at the home opener. You know what I mean? We're gonna tweet out where we're at. We'd love to meet you. I got a lot of things lined up, a lot of people to meet out there. So that's gonna be a great time. Thank you for the love that you've shown us. Thank you for all the people that watched and liked the One Night at Monsters promo that we did. That was a great time. You know what I mean? I thank JT for being a great sport about that. That was great stuff. We got stuff like that lined up for you all year, folks. Maybe even some TV things coming up in the future. You don't know what we got planned. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Follow us everywhere you can follow us on social media. The Live at 5 Throwdown. Make sure you stay tuned at 7:30 live on my YouTube for the Get Up. We're going to be talking about SummerSlam 17. We're going to be talking about the passing of Stan Mikita and an NHL great. And we're also going to be talking a little more in depth about training camp. I got some other stories about, tailgating and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good time. Make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, that JT, Monsters got nothing left, baby.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I want to give a shout out to a guy in the city that I met at the game. They contacted me at the game, wanted me to come see them. Leroy Winzo and family, man. It was awesome meeting you guys and his son. I forgot his name. I'm sorry about that, but he came up with a shirt design. It's cut for Trey White. He says he relieves, and I love it. And I'm just glad to meet them. Like you said, like we showed a lot of love, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate people tuning in and everything you do. But we just getting started here at the Live at 5. We are just getting started. We got so much coming.
You ain't even got your tip yet. Nothing. I was sorry to Leroy that I wasn't there. I did dip out. I didn't know that it was coming. He is a big follower of the show. He tweets me often. You know what I mean? Says a lot of nice things. So Leroy, definitely next time that you're in the town, man, I'm gonna show my face and shake your hand. I owe you that one. Like I said, I didn't know. I apologize. And I left like an asshole. I apologize. I didn't know. Right. So.
And you know what? His name is Braylon. Braylon Winslow. So shout out to you. And yes, I do truly leave. But that is our time. We'll be back next week at 5 o'clock because we're Live at 5. So hopefully you're there. Like I said, reach out to us, message us if you want us to talk about something. Let us know. Hopefully we got back to you at the chat. And like I said, that's it. We done.
We'll see you next week Live at 5.
That's it.
Episode 10 in the books.
That's it. Make sure you go like and follow our page, man. Like and follow us. We're funny. And we love you. Over and out.
Peace. Yeah. I think it tipped over.
Throwdown.